What's happening at BSC Young Boys right now is one of the most slept on stories in European football. Last season, they won the Swiss League by 12 points. But right now, halfway through the season, they sit in the relegation zone, 9th in the Swiss League and dead last in the Champions League with 0 points next to their name. This is a catastrophic season for the Swiss juggernauts. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Today, I am taking over as the gaffer at BSC Young Boys. I believe heading to the Swiss League for the first time in channel history. It's a historic day with a historic club, but a club that has a massive challenge at their feet. So as we take over at BSC Young Boys, here is the starting lineup of their squad. And honestly, when I was dissecting it, there wasn't too much that I was excited about. So we need to get to work to make this squad exciting and, most importantly, competitive on the park once again. I must say, I am quite sad that we can't do live start points with clubs outside of the top 5 leagues, because this would have been the perfect live start point rebuild. My first addition is to sign a striker that I believe we can build our squad around here. We need an exciting striker up top. So we have signed the Danish striker Matthias Vistgarden from Brøndby and a new left back in Englishman Archie Brown. Archie Brown does have the gold throw-in play style, so I'm excited to abuse that in game if we get the chance. Mate, I'm glad that there is no sacking on this save, because the Champions League objective that the board has set for us is to reach the quarterfinal. In real life, they have 0 points. This board must be on something strong. First man out of the club, though, is going to be Silver Gunvalu, the striker heading to the Turkish league. Sandro Lopa teams up. He's going to be playing behind Sergio Busquets because he's a defensive midfielder. Marvin Keller debated giving him the starting goalkeeper spot, but I'm going to loan him out to Mainz this year. And we are saying goodbye to the other striker, Elia, who heads to the mighty FC Cincinnati. I had to make sure I got at least one Swiss player into the starting 11 here, and if I was going to get anybody, this 6'4" behemoth of a centre-back does me just fine. It is Auriel Amenda joining us from Eintracht Frankfurt. He will be taking the starting 11 spot of Loris Benito, who I'm selling to Sampdoria. And it is also time to say goodbye and farewell to another older player in this squad, cashing in on Christian Fastnart, who we sell to Sunsport. I want to give Males the starting right mid spot. That's exactly what we want. His first game of the league season, and Amenda breaks his foot and is out for 3 months. That better not be an omen for this rebuild. So that is a dampener on what has been a great start to life here. I'm going to be giving Pfeiffer the starting 11 centre-back role to start this season. Amenda already has gone down in an overall. Oh, man. All right. This is what the starting 11 is going to look like for the first half of the season. I want to rewrite the wrongs, though, of what's happening in real life. I don't want us sitting in 9th position. I want us fighting for the title again. I want to be in the Champions League every season of this rebuild. And of course, we are in the Champions League here in season 1. My objective, to be totally honest, is just to get a point. I just want to get better than we did in real life. I want a point here with BSC Young Boys. 1st of January, and we sit 2nd in the league. We are doing really well, though. We are doing really, really well. 3 points behind Basel, and right now it looks like ourselves and FC Basel are in a title race. We're 8 points clear of Servette. This is perfect. Also, with 2 games to go in league phase play, We've gotten more than 0 points, I can guarantee you that, but we are in a position where we're going to hopefully find ourselves in at least the playoffs, potentially moving up to the we're 1 spot off the automatic rounds. Imagine if this turns into a 1-season rebuild. And being here in January, I think I'm going to make a big move. We still have a healthy chunk of budget for our club, so I think I'm going to put all of that into a new goalkeeper. David von Bolmus is going to be linking up another player going to Inter Miami. I could bring Marvin Keller back from his loan spell at Mainz, but I honestly want to get somebody that's like 73, 74 overall if possible. And we have done exactly that. I've gone for somebody even higher than 73, 74. I've got a 75 rated goalkeeper. Would you fancy that? But it is the German goalkeeper, Noah Atubalo, joining us from SC Freiburg. So we ended up going loss-win to round out the Champions League phases. So we finished 17th. I'm over the moon about that. Like I said, I didn't want to get 1, but I just wanted to get 1 point. To end up getting 13 is a massive success with a positive record. But we are into the playoff round, and in the playoff round, we are going to be up against it as we verse Juventus. The dream is absolutely alive, though, for a 1-season rebuild, fellas. I mean, it's going to take some serious work, but it's alive nonetheless. Juventus, we're at home for the first leg here in Switzerland, and we go down 3-2. If we could have taken a 2-2 scoreline away to Italy, that would have been massive, but Koopmeiners is going to pick up a brace against us. I fear that our Champions League campaign may be coming to an end here, but let's just go out in a blaze of glory if we are. We get done 3-0. I didn't expect to win this year. I'm proud of the progress we made, but that still hurts. Let's just focus on winning the league now and getting back to the Champions League in Season 2. League phases ended and we have finished top of the league. We turned it on in the second half of the year. We had turned it on in the first half. I think Basel just turned it off. We finished 12 points ahead of them, and in the playoffs, it is no surprise to see that we have won the league. We had such a head start that we have proved to be champions now. And I mean, you have to win the league to get back to the Champions League every year. So we have to win the league. That is a non-negotiable 100 points. Champions of Switzerland with BSC Young Boys. We do not win the cup though. The Schweitzer Pokal goes to Basel. Real Madrid beat Brest. Brest making it to the Champions League final is massive. Galatasaray win the Europa League. And Vitoria win the Conference League. Cedric Itten, I was debating moving him on at the start of the year. And I'll probably move him on in a couple of years' time. But if he can get 40 goal contributions every season, I'm going to be happy with that. Joel Montero on the left-hand side, 28 goals for a left midfielder is ridiculous. And Visgarden in his first season at the club gets 24 goals. Massive first year for the lads. Marvin Keller gets himself to a 71. I will say though, I'm a little worried. I might have to cut the cord on Amenda already. That injury and FIFA taking a lot of game time over him has mean he's gone down and gone up one overall technically, but this season basically hasn't happened for him. A few players will be leaving at the end of the year though. Pfeiffer's loan spell will be ending. I'm letting the contracts of Simba, Marzino, and Sailor all retire. Well, expire. FC Basel fans could only dream of a season like this right now. I'm so happy with how season 1 has gone, and I want to crack on and make it stronger in season number 2. I've taken some time to think about it, and yeah, I'm going in for a new centre back here to start the year. I feel bad for changing course so quickly, but after looking at the squad, looking at our options, I think it was just the best case scenario. And I've ended up going for somebody that was on my shortlist last year as well, which is quite ironic and makes me think I should have just gone for him last year, but it is the Belgian defender Van den Bosch. He is going to join us from Wolfsburg for 6.8 mil. Strap in though, fellas. There is a lot of work that is about to get done. Amenda, I'm not giving up on him right now, but I'm going to send him out on loan for the year. Abri McCauley, backup right winger, heading to Vitoria permanently. Emery, the centre midfielder, heading to Genk permanently. I'm not playing a formation that requires a centre midfielder at the moment, so I may as well cash in and get £2 million for him. Young Swedish left back, Noah Persson. He looks pretty decent. I'm going to send him off on loan. And Lewin Blum, £5 million to sell our right back. I guess you guys can probably figure out where I want. They've given me an F. They always give me an F, but I'm sure you guys can probably figure out now where I want our next upgrade in the squad. Mission success, fellas. We've got our new right back in. I'm pumped about this one. Fresh off a Europa League victory with Galatasaray, we're going to sign Elias Yalert. The Dane joins us for £8.3 million. We desperately need some help though at the attacking midfielder role. Randy Schneider is joining us to help with that. Something we're going to have to get quite used to though in this rebuild is the Champions League qualifying rounds. We're straight into the playoff round this year. Helsinki awaits. The first leg away in Finland, and we are going to lose. We dominate in terms of shots, but if we don't win this next game, then we are not going to be playing Champions League football this year. Oh man, this is not good. Our Champions League campaign hangs on by a thread. We take on Helsinki and we win it 2-0. Come on. Rudani off the bench is going to get us the winner. Oh my God. I can't believe I'm this pumped about a qualifying round game, but we have stayed alive. We come from behind and beat Helsinki. And as the summer transfer window draws to a close, this is the BSC Young Boys team for this year. So much stronger than this time 12 months ago. I'm feeling grateful to even be in this position, but we are in the Champions League phase again. We have Leverkusen in September, as well as Sporting, Monaco on the road in October, Girona, Wolfsburg, AEK Athens in Greece, and we round it out with Liverpool and Feyenoord. So Liverpool and Leverkusen, I would say, are the toughest teams we have to face. I'm hopeful, man. I'm hopeful. 1st of January, and once again, we are locked in a title race. This year, it's not with FC Basel. We're actually 12 points ahead of them. It is with Servette. I will say, though, the draws are killing us. But we will be competing in the playoff round of the Champions League for a second consecutive year. 20th place with BSC Young Boys. Again, I'm not mad about it. Any year that we can get ourselves into the playoffs or at least have a chance at finishing the rebuild, I'm happy with that. Not so happy, though, to see Real Madrid as our opponent. Are we going to have to verse just an insane team every year in the playoffs? If we couldn't get past Juventus last year, I don't necessarily love our chances against Real Madrid, but we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go in these early stages. We left it late. Valverde gets Real Madrid the lead. We got dominated, but we hung in there for 81 minutes. Montero is suspended for the second leg as well. If we can go into the Bernabeu and get a victory against Real Madrid, I'm going to be stunned. I've basically accepted that our Champions League campaign is going to be over. Holy hell. 5-0. Real Madrid. Oh no, that's the worst part. I don't care about losing 5-0 to Real Madrid. Vistgarden getting injured. That could ruin the back half of the season. Oh, thank the Lord. All right, only 8 days. Only 8 days for Vistgarden. Bruised elbow, that's fine. Why do you have to come off like that dramatically for a bruised elbow? You're at the Bernabeu. At that point, we were still in the game. You don't come off at that point. Muscle through Vistgarden. But for the second straight year, we have just gone ballistic in the second half of the season. 11 points clear in the league. And again, undefeated. No, we got a loss. Goddamn. All right, we still win the league, though. We finished 13 points clear. We're back to the Champions League again. If we don't do this every single season, honestly, I'm going to be disappointed. The difference compared to last year, though, we've won the Domestic Cup. We win Schweizer Pokal 3-0 over Lausanne. Again, I want to be winning that every season. I want the Young Boys Trophy Cabinet I want them to have to order in 400 new of the buggers. Bayern Munich end up winning the Champions League, Arsenal the Europa League, and the Conference League goes to Man U. Cedric Itten is such a beast, man. 29 goals. Unfortunately, though, I'm probably going to look to move him on next year. My thinking is, all right, we can let's not get twisted. We can stat pad in the Swiss Super League. So why not get somebody a little younger in that I can just make go absolutely ballistic with dynamic player potential by getting 30, 40 goals a year. Another year where I'm letting 2 players walk on frees though. Ardian Bayrami and Cerno Versanen. I was going to say I'm not going to try pronunciating his name. Probably shouldn't have. Let's crack on to season number 3. All right, we got ourselves a new striker, and I've gone with the double Danish delight. We've got 2 Danish strikers right now. Say hello to Mika Biereth, joining us from Sturm Graz. But when it comes to departures, I'm going to make some big moves. Lucas Lacomi is going to take the starting center defensive midfielder role, at least for a season. I'm transfer listing Niase, and we get him out pretty damn quick. Highly sought after man. Czech Niase heading to Ghent for 7.7 mil. And Cedric Itten, this man would have been the GOAT if he was 5 years younger. If he was a young boy, we would have had dynamic player potential do its work, but instead we've sold him for 8.5 mil. A new starting centre back is what I'm after though. Leopold Kerfield joining us from Union Berlin. I want him and Van den Bosch to form a dynamic duo in our back line. And to clear the way to make this happen, Muhammad Ali Kamara heading to Benfica for just shy of 6 mil. Another year, another loan move for Amenda heading to Monza this time round. Back to our favourite time of the year though, the playoff round. Tough opponent again, Copenhagen. The first leg against Copenhagen is a 1-0 win. Good start. And we finish it off. We won it in the 89th minute there. Ugrinic sends us to the Champions League phase in the 89th minute. Season 3, here we go, fellas. This is what the team is looking like. A very, very balanced team. A Tubalo and Vistgarden, though, are starting to run away in terms of overall. I've got some money in the back pocket, though, and I am prepared to use it if need be come January. Our Champions League campaign starts tough, though. Barcelona and Lazio both away in September. Off to Cyprus in October. Bodo Glimt and Frankfurt in November. Olympiacos in December, and January is Inter Milan. That's tough. And Bayer Leverkusen. We've got a tough run of things here. 1st of January, 15 points clear. It is so nice to not be second at this point of the season, and I feel like every year so far we've had other teams dragging along with us. We are crushing it. And I was open to making some changes to the starting 11, but I'm happy with how things are going in the starting 11 for right now. So instead, I'm going to invest in our bench. Frank Cerdes, backup left mid, joining us for 5 mil, and a backup defensive midfielder in American Daniel Edelman. 22nd. We've gone back by 1 point every single year in the Champions League. We get 9 points here. and just sneak into the playoffs again. No surprise this year, though, we've been matched up against another juggernaut. It is PSG. It's so funny because we're just cakewalking the Swiss Super League at the moment, and I feel like we are the big dogs. Nobody can touch us. And then I get matched up against a team like PSG, and I've almost already accepted my fate. I'm like, oh yeah, we're just going to get absolutely destroyed. First leg in Switzerland is a 1-1 draw. It is a 1-1 draw. Bernardo has been red carded there for PSG. Okay, we go to France with a little bit of hope. But as we all know, it is often the hope that kills you. I'm hoping the hope doesn't kill us this time. Pull it off, lads. Pull it. Oh my God. We almost pull it off. A 1-goal loss to PSG. That gives me a lot more confidence moving forward, though. Maybe we're not as far away from being competitive as we thought. 1 loss all year in the league, none in the championship round. We were 1 loss off going invincible in the Swiss League, 105 points. It's just normal proceedings right now. I mean, look at the team in the season. Essentially our entire starting 11, except for 1 player. Damn, Querfeld, the man we signed in the summer, is the only guy that didn't make the team of the season. That's brutal. A 2nd consecutive Schweizer Pokal. Chelsea win the Champions League. Sporting win the Cristiano Ronaldo derby. And Newcastle United win, what, the Hatem Ben Arfa derby? Did Ben Arfa play for Marseille? I'm just going to go out on a limb and say he did. No, I know. You know who played for both Newcastle and Marseille? Talvin. Newcastle United win the Talvin derby. Holy hell. Vistgarden, up to an 85 overall, gets himself 48 goal contributions. Biereth, up to an 80, gets himself 33 goals, 5 assists. Males gets 48 goal contributions. These are some monster numbers being put up here by the lads. Doing a rebuild in a league like this where we just dominate every year is such a unique experience for a rebuild. I kind of like it. Time for the captain to go, lads. He's been great for us, but I want somebody. We need to get ourselves a Champions League winning side. We need a side that is going to get past the playoff stage, and we need some money to do it. Filip Ugrinich heading to Sporting for 21.5 mil. Sadie Yanko heads to Aruka. Hadjam to Inter Miami. Inter Miami, we got some sort of bond feeding. Maybe they'll give us Messi. And it is another guy that has been so solid for us. I just have to make these tough calls, man. When players, especially the attacking players, into their late 20s, basically about to hit 30, and they haven't cracked it yet, I just need to get guys that can do it. And with a league like this, we need guys that I can have time for dynamic player potential to get their claws into. So Joel Montero heads to Sassuolo for £23.5 million. But that now gives us a pretty healthy budget to get ourselves a new left midfielder and a new attacking midfielder. We've struck up a deal with Cesc Fabregas, and we have found our attacking midfielder. It is the Argentine Nico Paz joining us from Como. And for the left midfield role, we have snagged ourselves an absolute bargain in Genny Kitano. 12 months remaining on his deal at Sporting, so we get him for just £20 million. He does come in as a right midfielder, but I'm going to obviously convert him to a left midfielder here, which takes 2 seasons. Sorry, 2 weeks. 2 seasons I would be upset with. But this is what our team looks like coming into this 4th season. We are looking good, man. You add Nico Paz and Katamo to the starting lineup. Follow that, couple that with the growth of Vistgarden and Tubalo. This team is good. I genuinely think we have the chance to go on a run this year. But for some reason, we got to skip the playoff round and automatically go into league phase play. I'm not sure why. Maybe someone that's more versed in Swiss football could tell me, but no playoff football this year, which I'm totally okay with. But our run this year, AEK Athens in September, along with Lyon. Porto, Arsenal away in North London. All right, we've got a pretty tough run so far. Olympiacos in Greece, Brondby, and then we finish it up with Atletico Madrid and Red Bull Leipzig. This might be our toughest run yet. I mean, things are a lot tighter so far this season, but honestly, I might just stop updating you guys on January 1st, unless we're somewhere but first. It is time for us to get a new superstar defensive midfielder. Lucas Lacomi's been good, and he made more of an impact than I expected, but we just need that next tier. So the Polish defensive midfielder heads to Burnley. I was really hoping to bring in the Swiss defensive midfielder Jashari, but he was too low rated for what we wanted. So we've gone for what I consider an end game type defensive midfielder. I'm sure some of y'all have clocked onto who we've brought in by now, but it is the Belgian defensive midfielder Romeo Lavia joining us from Chelsea. Huge pickup here, joining us at Young Boys for over £30 million. And with that, we're broke. Oh, we've missed out on the automatic spots here in the Champions League though, fellas. Only one loss, which has a lot of confidence coming my way. 4 draws, 3 wins. We are into the playoffs. And I see some big boys that we could be versing. But it is not all doom and gloom. Okay, it looks like, I mean, I don't want to jinx us, but I feel like we are in a great position to get past the playoffs for the first time in this rebuild. Ferencvárosi of Hungary. Birith is suspended for this first leg away in Hungary, which makes me realize we probably need to go in for a backup striker next year. Here it is, though. First leg in the playoff round, and we get the man that comes in gets a brace for us. Conte picks us up a brace. We take the lead back to Switzerland. Birith back in. Full strength starting 11 on the park. Come on, fellas. Can we get ourselves past the playoff round for the first time? We do. It isn't as much of a demolition as I had hoped, but for the first time in this rebuild, BSC young boys are heading to the round of 16. But if we want to go further than the round of 16, we are going to have to run the gauntlet. We have got Manchester City. We're at home for the first leg against Man City. I need Vistgarden to step up and put in the performance of a lifetime. At home, 3-1! Oh my God. 3-1 up against Manchester City. Conte off the bench is the hot hand. A lot of yellow cards going around there, but we take a 3-1 advantage back to Manchester. But there will be no Van den Bosch for the second leg. Suspended, Amenda into the starting lineup. Some of us thought, myself included, that he would be in a starting 11 at this point, just a lot higher rated. 3-1 up against Man City. Hold the line. Toe the line. No, oh my, okay. We lost 2-0 in regulation. I saw 2-1 and my heart sunk. But then I realized our centre-back Kerfield has gone and won it for us in the 108th minute. We are heading to the Champions League quarterfinals. And now that I know we can beat teams like Manchester City, I've got a lot more confidence. We played them and lost 2-0 to them in league phase play. Our next opponent is Atletico Madrid. Back to full strength after Van den Bosch served his suspension at home again. If we can get another 3-1 lead like we had against Man City, I would be pumped. It's a 2-1 loss. Brown keeps us alive, but we've got some serious work to do if we want to get ourselves into the Final Four. All right. Quarterfinals, into the belly of the beast. 2-1 down against Atletico Madrid. Is this run over? This run is definitely over. Oh, I've got so much more confidence after this season, but it is clear we have still got a way to go. 5-1 aggregate loss to Atletico Madrid in the Champions League quarters. 21 points clear at the end of league play and undefeated in the playoffs. Another Swiss Super League coming to young boys. But we have broken our run of Schweizer Pokal titles. FC Zurich win a Zurich derby. We shat the bed. We went out in the first round of St. Gallen. Atletico Madrid ended up making the final where they ultimately lost to AC Milan. Newcastle United have won the Europa League, and Aston Villa beat Helsinki to win the Conference League. I was shocked for a second there. I was like, oh, Darian Miles has got the golden boot this year. 39 goal contributions. What happened to our strikers? Then I realized that Vistgarden got 29 goals as well, and Birith got himself 26. Scoring goals for fun. Looking at this squad, it was so clear where we needed to improve next, and that was left back. And that is why we are going to reunite Lavia with his former Chelsea teammate, Renato Veiga. The Portuguese defender joins us from Girona for 32.5 mil. I will not be selling Brown, though. I think having his long throw as a potential off the bench asset could be so good for us. Also nipping our backup striker dilemma in the bud here. Picking up a Swiss striker in Amdouni. Zeki Amdouni joining us from Strasbourg for £16 million. We're at the point of the rebuild now where I want us going for the crown. Every year, and after that run last year, taking out Manchester City, I have confidence. We've got a very balanced squad, some clear superstars, but I'm hopeful we can get the job done this year. Once again, though, we got to skip the qualifying rounds, which I'm, again, not complaining about. Starting things off really tough, though, away at the Camp Nou against Barcelona. Then we're away against Slavia Praha. Away against Sporting. Are we going to get a home game? All right, we're at home. I feel like we've faced AEK Athens every damn year. And we're home against Newcastle United, the team that won the Conference League into the Europa League. They're trying to win the Champions League this year. December, we have Bayern Munich. And January is Bologna and Red Bull Salzburg. That's a so-so draw. I do want us missing out on the playoff round this year. I want us finishing in the top 8. There you go, boys. 7th in league phase play. We're straight into the round of 16. And I hope to never see the playoffs again. Round of 16 has come in and we have got Sporting. Sporting have won themselves the Europa League in this video, but I want to cause them heartbreak in the Champions League. Vistgarden up to a 90 overall. The team is trotting along. Mail. I didn't expect Males to still be in the team at this point, but he has been an absolute god. First leg away in Portugal, and it's a scoreless draw. We have a 90 overall striker, and we can't score a goal. Bloody hell. I'm hoping that having the home crowd can lift us to victory. It's a snowy night here, a snowy March night in Switzerland. Scoreless. Heading into this one, and 2-1 in the second leg. Vistgarden and Mika score the goals. We dominated statistically, but we only get the 2 goals. Regardless, we're into the quarterfinals again. Turning up the heat a little bit though in the quarterfinals, we have been drawn with Inter Milan. This is where we went out last year. I don't want to go out in the quarters for a second straight year. First leg is on the road here against Inter Milan. Not going to lie, I would take a scoreless draw just like what we had against Sporting in the first leg. Inter are a tough team in career mode, man. But clearly we didn't get the memo. They have Rodrigo, but we've beaten them 3-1. Vistgarden and Mika 3-1 up as we head back to Switzerland. That is beautiful. Look, we were 3-1 up against Manchester City last year and almost bottled it. So I'm not getting too far ahead of myself. I'm feeling great about things right now, but we're not guaranteed a spot. See, look, we almost bottled it again. We almost bottled it again, but we are heading to the Champions League semi-finals for the first time. Paz will not be, though. For the first leg, he's going to be suspended, which is a huge blow, especially when we realize that we're facing a team that's already taken us out once in this video in PSG. Fortunately, Amdouni can play the attacking midfield role, so he's going to come in here for the first leg. We're at home for the first leg. Just get us... Okay, I'll take it. Mika scores the goal. I will take it. We're heading back to Paris all tied up, but we're going to have Nico Paz. I don't think that it is fully sunk in with me yet that a win here gets us to a Champions League final. It would sink in if I'm playing on the pitch, though, and we're going. Come on. Genie's going to score. We're going to go to the Champions League final. We take down PSG. Oh, okay. We're into the final with BSC Young Boys here in season number 5. And we wait to see whether we're going to be versing Borussia Dortmund or Atletico Madrid. And the answer, the team that eliminated us last year, Atletico Madrid. Coming for revenge on that one, but taking a look around the grounds, Tottenham win the Europa League. Villarreal win the Conference League. No surprise. I mean, you guys probably could have gathered when I didn't show you the table in January, but we have cakewalked. We've won the league every year of this rebuild so far. That would be a rebuild first, but we are not going to win the cup. That's between Winterthur and Grasshopper Zurich again. But we have an immense opportunity to win a Champions League title with BSC Young Boys. A rebuild that I am so happy I did. A unique rebuild. And honestly, I'm open to doing more rebuilds like this in the future if this is the last moment of this rebuild, because I have had so much fun going on the more unique sort of ones rather than doing England or the top 5 leagues. But the job is not done. Champions League final time. Here we go. Alvarez puts it wide. He scored so many goals against us last season that I'm nervous every time he gets it. Nico Paz. I saw that run coming. A little more flat-footed than I'd hoped. Oh, but we had the attempt with the outside, the toe poke. We stuffed that up royally. They shoot that, though. Oh, if we allowed them to get a tap in, I would have been so mad. 3 players on them, and they put it wide. Nobody wanted to take the lead in this game. Nobody really getting crazy good opportunities either. Tamo up against Corona. Holding it up nicely here. Putting it in the middle. Trying to find somebody. Vistgarden turns. Vistgarden! again single-handedly gives Young Boys the lead. Oh, we faked the life out of that defender. And in what has been a bit of a stalemate game, we take the lead. I feel like we're on a roll right now. Nico Paz. Oh, I thought that one was a heat missile headed to the top right corner. Come on, lads. I want a second goal here to put this one to bed. Catano nicely going out here. It's Mika Birith taken down in the box. What is Conor Gallagher doing there? That is the world's easiest penalty. We have an opportunity to put this Champions League final to bed. And I'm giving it to the man that has been here since day one. It is Males. I'm going to the right-hand side. Males scores! That is going to be the Champions League, surely, coming to BSC Young Boys. Come on! We found our groove when it really mattered there. A very even game, but the last half an hour, we figured it out, and we have got our first ever Swiss club champions of Europe. And our German goalkeeper, Untouchable, is the man that is going to lift the Champions League trophy in what I would say is one of the funnest rebuilds I have made all FC25. BSC Young Boys, European champions. Lads, if you enjoyed today's rebuild and you aren't already subscribed, make sure you click here to subscribe and click here to check out another video.